Viewers, very good evening. A debate has broken out on Samvidhan subversion. Let us begin by talking about the emergency and the First Amendment of the Constitution. The emergency imposed by the Congress remains one of India's darkest chapters. Democracy was subverted, fundamental rights were suspended, censorship imposed, and political opponents were thrown in jail. The Congress party used brute power to suppress dissent and consolidate authority. Here's what the First Amendment to the Indian Constitution in 1951 did. It is seen as a violation of the fundamental rights. Critics argue that by curbing freedom of speech, Nehru was setting a dangerous precedent that could be used to suppress dissent and silence political opponents. Now, viewers, one of the key provisions of the First Amendment was the insertion of Article 19(2) into the Constitution, which allowed the government to impose reasonable restrictions on the right to freedom of speech and expression in the interest of public order, decency and morality. But hold on, while this provision was intended to prevent the spread of hate speech and misinformation, it also gave the government sweeping powers to silence dissenting voices and stifle political opposition. This move is seen as a strategic move by Nehru to consolidate his power and weaken his critics. On the eve of emergency anniversary, Prime Minister Modi reminded the country of what the Congress had done. While responding to PM Modi, Kharge said that the mandate in 2024 is against the undeclared emergency of the last 10 years. Mr. Kharge was referring to the last 10 years in office of Prime Minister Modi, the verdict in 2014 and then in 2019. Here's what happened on day one of Parliament session. While MPs were taking oath, opposition leaders were protesting with a copy of the Constitution in their hands. To underline perhaps its importance, they claim that the Modi government is subverting Samvidhan.
25 जून न भूलने वाला दिवस है। कल 25 जून को भारत के लोकतंत्र में जो काला धब्बा लगा था, उसके 50 वर्ष हो रहे हैं। भारत की नई पीढ़ी इस बात को कभी नहीं भूलेगी कि भारत के संविधान को पूरी तरह नकार दिया गया था। देशवासी संकल्प लेंगे कि भारत में फिर कभी कोई ऐसी हिम्मत नहीं करेगा जो 50 साल पहले की गई थी और लोकतंत्र पे काला धब्बा लगा दिया गया था।
Viewers, while it is important to remain vigilant against any attempts to undermine democratic principle, is it not equally important to acknowledge the importance of respecting the will of the people? Should a democratic mandate be mocked? Let's open this up. Sanju Verma, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Dr. Anand Ranganathan needs no introduction. A. Sarvanan, spokesperson of the DMK. Anurag Bhadoria ji, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Kamruzaman Chaudhary completes the panel, political analyst. Good evening, all of you. Before we start this, Dr. Ranganathan, how can a democratic mandate be mocked, or should it be mocked?
Your new journey here. I wish you all the very best. May you succeed like you always have. And good evening to my fellow panelists. Look, you asked a very pertinent question. And as a free speech absolutist, my answer would be yes, of course, you are free to mock it. But it is a very juvenile thing that the Congress is doing, especially the male au pairs of Rahul Gandhi, who are constantly calling Narendra Modi as ek tihai, whatever the hell does that mean? I mean, do they mean to say that Congress has more legitimacy to be in power than BJP, that's got 240 seats, more than the seats combined in the last 3 elections that Congress got? What are they hinting at? And finally, as far as damaging to the institutions is concerned that the Congress is constantly accusing the BJP of, look, no one has damaged our institution. Everyone knows about the destruction to our constitution by the Congress, right from Nehru's First Amendment to Indira Gandhi's blatant twisting of it during the emergency. But people might not know, Pranesh, the damage the Congress did to other institutions. So let me make just 2 brief examples out here. The Supreme Court. Did you know the Congress blocked appointment of judges to the Supreme Court if they were in any way associated with the ideology of the RSS, or even so much as attended the funeral of an RSS person, as Justice Chandurkar did of Gowalkar? This is from the book Supreme Whispers by Chandrachud. Let me not even go into how many Supreme Court verdicts did the Congress overturn. The Shah Bano verdict, the bank nationalization verdict, the Privy Purse verdict. The Congress has been a law unto itself. Now to the Election Commission. Not many would know of a Congress acolyte in Sanjay Gandhi's Kancha Buddy, the man Friday Naveen Chawla. He played a ruthless part during the emergency. In fact, letting loose a reign of terror. He was indicted by the Shah Commission for his crimes. But what happened as soon as Congress came to power? He became the chief election commissioner. Now I ask you, this is the same Congress that is demeaning our institutions. Can anything be more ironic or hypocritical than this? Answer.
Kamruzaman ji, is that not a legitimate question to ask?
Yeah, Pranesh, first and foremost, we all must understand that Congress party imposed the emergency during Indira Gandhi's time, and most of us, the present millennium out here, do not relate to the days of 1970s. Here, the present millennium, the youth of this country, the farmers, the students, the MSME class, or whatever you call it, the working class, are all seeing with their own eyes the undeclared emergency of the last 10 years that the BJP and the RSS have imposed in this country. It's not that the Congress has been very successful after emergency. We have lost elections because of the emergency issue out here.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary. Do you know what happened to the Congress after the first elections were held after emergency? The people punished the Congress party. Here, Prime Minister Modi has won his third term. And Mr. Kharge is saying this is undeclared emergency. Is that right? Or Dr. Ranganathan wants to quickly add something. Yes.
No, this is the same caveat and trope that Congress brings about every time. Kamruji, please 1 second. Yes, granted, the emergency happened more than 40 years ago. The fact of the matter.
Before I even start my argument,
he's just adding a point, sir. Then you'll have all the time to respond.
Sir, Kamruji, please.
Given the time to rebut. I know people of this country know what Anand
let him quickly add a point, sir. Then you respond to it. Just 1 minute. One person at a time, all faders down. Dr. Ranganathan, quickly make your point.
Yes, for them to say that, look, people, most of the generation right now does not even remember emergency, then why does Congress keep saying that Congress is the party of freedom struggle? Were we born during the freedom struggle? What kind of logic is this? And secondly, in the last 10 years, 15 years, including the 10 years where the Congress was in power in center, there have been more than 75 instances of blatant stomping on freedom of speech, including two weeks ago when Ajit Bharti, a journalist, an FIR was filed against him for merely repeating what a congressman said about another congressman. Congress filed an FIR in Congress ruled state Karnataka. The police left everything out there, came all the way to Noida to arrest Ajit Bharti. Thankfully, Yogi Adityanath and his machinery intervened. Even without any notice, these people are doing these draconian things. And Mr. Kamruji has the gumption to say that Congress is now not the same as emergency.
No, Mr. Chaudhary is not done. He is not done. Mr. Chaudhary, make your point, sir.
The point here, Pranesh, I want to just highlight out here is that we all have gone through the ups and downs in the last 75 years in building our great nation that we are out here. Here, always a consultative process was there. 1975 was a very dark chapter in our Indian democracy. There's no doubt, as a congressman, I can feel the pain of people who have suffered during those days. But Congress has subsequently lost the elections. We have course corrected. Right now, we are on the midst of an undeclared emergency. You expel 146.
So how is it undeclared emergency? Let me bring in Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, how is this undeclared emergency?
That's what I'm...
Sanju Verma now responding to you. Faders down 1% at a time. Yes, Sanju Verma.
Pranesh, first and foremost, many congratulations on your first day on India Upfront. I hope you have a great stint and all the very best. Let me now come to the more serious debate, because this is a feisty one. First and foremost, let me take down this entire narrative. Democracy खतरे में है, नरेंद्र मोदी के तहत लोकतंत्र खतरे में है, संविधान खतरे में है. I always support and endorse my arguments with hard data and not rhetoric. तो पहले ध्यान से सुनिए. And these are data points which are available in public domain. ये संजू वर्मा या बीजेपी का data point नहीं है. 17 times, 17 times Nehru changed the constitution. 31 times Nehru's daughter Indira Gandhi changed the constitution. 11 times Indira Gandhi's son Rajiv Gandhi changed the constitution. And 8 times Rajiv Gandhi's confidant and Rahul Gandhi's confidant Manmohan Singh changed the constitution. When the government was actually run by Manmohan Singh, but the power vested in the proxy government run by Sonia Gandhi. This is the first point. Second point, these people say, oh, कितनी बार ऑर्डिनेंस के द्वारा बिल लाए गए हैं मोदी सरकार के तहत. Second data point, in the first 67 years of post-independent India, Pranesh, 54 years the Congress was in power. And I just got the data. On 568 occasions, the ordinance route was used to make laws and enact acts of parliament, which means every single year, almost 11 ordinances were passed so that they could become laws in the 54 years that the Congress was in power in the first 67 years of post-independent India.
Mr. Saravanan, good to have you on the show, sir. What do you make of this Samvidhan subversion debate? The Prime Minister today said that emergency was a blot, but the Congress and now Congress allies are saying that democracy is in danger. The last 10 years were undeclared emergency.
See, the problem with the BJP is they lost the mandate of the people. The people did not give them a majority because they were living in the past. They were not talking about taking care of the present, and they did not bother about the future. That is the reason they gave only 240 seats to the BJP instead of what they sought. So the question is this: how the BJP is going to sort the pressing issues? It is NEET PG examination, why it was cancelled, NET UGC exam, NET CSIR exam, NEET UG exam. What is the government going to do? What is the BJP going to do? Have they got any foolproof methods to ensure that 50 lakh students don't suffer? And instead of addressing all this issue, you are talking about what happened 50 years back. Is this going to be of any relevance to the common man now? The problems faced by the common man now. You are asking 10 years what had happened. 10 years.
No, I am not asking, Mr. Saravanan. Look, don't blame me. I am not asking. No, I am not asking.
I'll answer. I'll come to that.
I am only asking you all the issues that you've listed.
See,
let's make a note of it. But having said that, how can one say that this is not a democratic mandate? You use the word majority. What is the number, sir? The NDA is a pre-poll alliance. See, they have the numbers, they have the majority. What it takes to form a government.
I am saying, yes. See, I am saying, what's I saying? What was I saying? I was saying that the BJP on its own did not, they were declined. They got 303 seats and 60 seats have gone just like that. Why did it go? People were angry. If not for the election commission, the way it colluded with the BJP and allowed communal polarization, BJP would not have even won 150 seats.
How many did the DMK win in Tamil Nadu? How many seats did the DMK win in Tamil Nadu? Mr. Saravanan, what are you saying? Are you saying that the polls in Tamil Nadu were not conducted or supervised by the Election Commission of India? Some other body supervised the polls, and which is why you won the seats that you won.
Good question. We won them in spite of the Election Commission. We have a strong organizational support here, and people of Tamil Nadu are smart. They know whom to choose, how to choose.
No, so people. This is again the same mindset of what Rahul Gandhi had said, that people in South India are smarter, the voters of North India are dumb, are foolish. Is that what you're saying?
That is what you are saying.
No, that is what you are inferring, sir.
Don't say that. You are saying, please don't say that. You are saying that. I am not saying that. Are you from North India? Are you from North India?
It's not about north or south. Why mock the voter anyway? Why are you saying that the voters here are smarter?
Then why are you saying this?
No, then why are you saying that voters in South India are smarter?
I have not said
Mr.
that.
Sarva,
Why
you
are
said
saying
it.
this?
You said it.
No.
You
See,
said the
that's
voters here are
I'll
smarter.
tell you something. Listen to me. Listen to me. See, the people of India are also angry with media because they are not questioning the government. They are happy questioning the opposition all the time.
Okay, let me question the government. Don't be angry. No, 1 minute. Mr. Sarvanan, let me question the BJP. Sanju Verma, how did you win the number of seats you managed to win? Elections were compromised.
Pranesh, I'm so glad you asked me this question. And I'm not going to complain that, the DMK spokesperson got so much of time. You're free to allow him to ramble on and on. But let me say one thing. These people from the opposition, be it Congress, DMK, IUNL, TMC, ये सब कहते हो, oh, EVMs are compromised. Chief Election Commissioner is compromised. These people should be ashamed of themselves. The first time EVMs were used on a pilot basis in India was way back in 1982, and the BJP had nothing to do with the elections then. We did not win that 1982 by-election in Kerala. For the first time in state elections, EVMs were used, Pradesh, in 2001 to state assembly elections in West Bengal, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Puducherry. BJP did not win elections in any of these states in 2001, but we did not say democracy khatre mein hai. And by the way, for the first time in a general election, EVMs were used in 2004. BJP did not win 2004, but हमने नहीं कहा लोकतंत्र खतरे में है. 2009 also, EVMs were used in a Lok Sabha election. BJP did not win. हमने नहीं कहा संविधान खतरे में है. But look at the audacity. These guys are such sore losers.
Let's begin.
2014 से ये लोगों ने कहना चालू कर दिया. अरे EVMs are compromised.
The point that Mr. Sarvanan is making, let's put that to Mr. Bhaduria of the Samajwadi Party. अनुराग जी, स्वागत है आपका. अभी जो सरवानन जी बोल रहे हैं कि इलेक्शन कमीशन ने ठीक से इलेक्शंस कंडक्ट नहीं किए, एक तरह से एक्सरसाइज कॉम्प्रोमाइज था. क्या उत्तर प्रदेश में भी ऐसा लगा आपको?
देखिए, मैंने तो पहले ही बोला है कि उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर में अगर और सही तरीके से होता तो 16 सीटें और समाजवादी पार्टी की बढ़ सकती थी और बढ़ जाती. लेकिन सवाल वो नहीं है. सवाल है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी किस तरह से मुद्दों से भाग रही है. पार्लियामेंट चलाने की जिम्मेदारी भारतीय जनता पार्टी की है और भारतीय जनता पार्टी को फ्लोर को ऑर्डर करने की जिम्मेदारी उसी की है. लेकिन देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी 2014 से 24 के बीच का अपना काम नहीं बताना चाहती, क्योंकि उससे पूछा जाएगा तो 1970, 1960 में, 1947 में चले गई. आप देखिए, जज आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी की आदत ये हो गई है, फिर कहेंगे कि नहीं हम तो कुछ. जज अगर बीजेपी के खिलाफ ऑर्डर देता है तो जज को ट्रोल करने शुरू कर देते हैं. सोचिए, न्यायपालिका पे इन्हें विश्वास नहीं होता है, जज के बारे में कुछ उल्टा सीधा लिखना शुरू करते हैं. पेपर लीक आपने देखा, बच्चों का सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा. ये देश का मुद्दा नहीं है, ये देश की. सोचो, अगर किसी देश के अंदर पेपर लीक होता है तो राष्ट्र से संबंधित मुद्दा होता है, इससे राष्ट्र की बदनामी होती है और देश का जो युवा होता है वो कितना हताश होता है. ये कितना चिंता का विषय है. लेकिन इसमें भारतीय जनता पार्टी देखिए किस तरह से उससे भागना चाहती है. यहाँ यूथ अगर यहाँ बेरोजगार है और 5 किलो चावल 5 किलो आटा के लिए लाइन में अगर इन्होंने लगा दिया लोगों को और फिर कहते हैं मेरी 5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी है, तो इन पे कौन यकीन करेगा. महिलाओं के सम्मान की बात कर लीजिए तो लगातार जिस तरह से महिलाओं के ऊपर अत्याचार आपको देखने को मिला, चाहे पहलवान महिला हो, चाहे हाथरस.
तो एक बात बताइए फिर अनुराग जी, अगर इतनी दिक्कतें हैं जो आप कह रहे हैं, चुप रही तो फिर आपके जो बड़े एलाय हैं कांग्रेस पार्टी, उनको की इतनी कम सीटें आई, फिर तो उन्हीं को सरकार बना लेना चाहिए. लोगों ने उन्हें भी वोट नहीं दिया. डॉक्टर रंगनाथन, you know, on the day of the parliament session, we are back to blaming the EVM. Now, I can't make sense of what Mr. Sarvanan said. He said, look, you know, we managed to win our seats in Tamil Nadu because the voters here are smarter. What do you make of it?
No, look, Pranesh, I am no one to anoint any political party, morally or ethically upright. It is for individuals and voters to do so. But I'll say this. For any political party that said anonymous electoral bonds was the biggest scam since independence India, if they still believe so, and you can ask on the panel, there are many from the opposition party, let them return the 600 crore odd money that they received from the anonymous electoral bond, DMK, SP, everyone. Return that money, because that money is tainted by your own admission. Likewise, if you believe that the election commission is compromised, resign from the seats that you have won and then sit in front of the parliament till whenever you may. I will sit with you if you have that gumption.
Let's put that to Mr. Bhadodia. अनुराग जी, आनंद रंगनाथन ये कह रहे हैं कि जैसे आपको लगा कि उत्तर प्रदेश में अगर और अच्छे से चुनाव होता तो आप और 16 सीट जीत जाते, तो वो कह रहे हैं कि अगर आपको लगता है ये प्रोसेस कॉम्प्रोमाइज है तो आप बाकी सीटों से रिजाइन कर दीजिए प्रोटेस्ट में।
देखिए, मैं उनसे कह रहा हूं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी को तो खुद ही सत्ता छोड़ देनी चाहिए। 240 सीटें आई, अलमत में है, जुगाड़ बना के सरकार बना रही है वो। और जिस तरह की तानाशाही, जिस तरह से इन्होंने कहते हैं अनडिक्लेयर इमरजेंसी इन्होंने लगा रखी पूरे देश के अंदर में, क्या इनसे पूछे क्या मध्य प्रदेश की सरकार इन्होंने नहीं गिराई थी? मैंने आप बताइए, मध्य प्रदेश की रूलिंग जनता द्वारा चुनी सरकार को उन्होंने गिरा दिया था। महाराष्ट्र में क्या इन्होंने पार्टी को 2 भागों में नहीं बांट दिया? शिवसेना 2 भागों में नहीं बटी, एनसीपी 2 भागों में नहीं बटी, या चिराग पासवान की पार्टी को 2 भागों में नहीं बांटा? किस तरह से इन्होंने इस पर राजस्थान की सरकार पे किया, इन्होंने किस तरह से तकलीफें दी? फिर उसने यहां से वो चले गए। आपने बिहार की सरकार को देखा, एक बार जेडीयू के साथ आई, फिर गिरी, फिर आई। इससे अगर आप चले जाओ झारखंड में, तो किस तरह की ये करते, ये चुनी सरकारों पे हमला करते हैं भाई। इसी को तो कहते हैं कि अघोषित आपातकाल है, कि भाई आप जो इलेक्टेड लोग हैं उन पे हमला करते हैं, लेकिन जनता के मुद्दों पे चर्चा नहीं करेंगे, अग्निवीर पे बात नहीं करेंगे। अग्निवीर में अपनी नौकरी तो सबको चाहिए। 5-5 साल के लिए लोकसभा के सदस्य
आपने जो अभी एग्जाम्पल गिनवाया अनुराग जी, शायद आप भूल गए हैं कि आर्टिकल 356 का मिसयूज करके कांग्रेस ने करीब 100 से ज्यादा बार इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट्स को डिसमिस कर दिया। अब फिर आप बोलेंगे कि देखिए वो तो पुरानी बातें हैं, अब पिछले 10 साल की बात करते हैं, तो डॉक्टर रंगनाथन आपका सीधा जवाब दे देंगे। संजू वर्मा, आई एम कमिंग टू यू आफ्टर दिस।
हाँ, नहीं, देखिए, बहुत अच्छी बात कही भिदोरिया जी ने, एकदम सही बात बोली और हिपोक्रेसी बीजेपी की एक्सपोज करी। मैं उनकी दाद देता हूं, लेकिन मैं उनसे ये पूछना चाहता हूं भिदोरिया जी से कि महाराष्ट्र में लास्ट 4-5 साल पहले इलेक्शन हुए, उसमें बीजेपी और शिवसेना जीती, उनका मैंडेट था, प्री पोल अलायंस थी, उनकी जीत के आए। क्या भिदोरिया जी इसके अगेंस्ट हैं कि कांग्रेस को महाविकास आघाड़ी बनानी चाहिए थी, शिवसेना के साथ अलायंस करना चाहिए था, एनसीपी के साथ जो उनके जानी दुश्मन थे, वो गवर्नमेंट चलाई उन्होंने महाराष्ट्र में एमवीए, क्या भिदोरिया जी उसके अगेंस्ट थे? बोल दे हाँ या ना, बोल दीजिए।
उसका मालिक पे जो एजेंसी को आपने काम दिया तो उसका मालिक भाग गया, और हम नहीं, अमेरिका विदेश भाग गया, ऐसे भागने देंगे आप?
नहीं, और उसका जवाब नहीं दे रहे अनुराग जी, वो उसका जवाब नहीं है ना। बिफोर आई ब्रिंग इन मिस्टर सर्वानंद, संजू वर्मा, you see, Mr. Sarvanan, Anurag Bhadodia, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, they've all in their opening remarks underlined one thing, that you can't deny that there is undeclared emergency and that the mandate in 2024 is a punishment by the people, which is why you're reduced to 240.
Now, I don't wish to be heckled, Pranesh. We are having a sensible debate. First and foremost, 3 general elections, 2014, 2019 and 2024 put together, the BJP's tally in Lok Sabha stands at 825. 3 Lok Sabha elections, 2014, 2019 and 2024 put together, the Congress's tally standalone is 195. Point number 1. Point number 2, the last time the Congress got more than 240 seats was in 1984. The last time the Congress won more than 230 seats was in 1991 when the Congress got 232. After being in power for 10 years from 2004 to 2014, the Congress's tally fell to 44. It was a 79% drop vis-a-vis the previous election. After being 10 years in power, BJP's standalone tally has fallen only by 21%. Point number 3. In the last 3 Lok Sabha elections put together, from Uttar Pradesh alone, BJP's tally from Uttar Pradesh alone, I repeat, is 170 seats. Last 3 Lok Sabha elections put together, from Uttar Pradesh alone, the Congress's tally is only 9 seats. Yes, you heard that right, only 9 seats. तो यहाँ बैठकर, यहाँ बीजेपी को जब आप डेमोक्रेसी पर भाषण देते हैं and you say that PM has lost the moral high ground, अरे when the Congress could form a government with only 140 seats in 2004, it was a coalition government, तब डेमोक्रेसी खतरे में नहीं आई. The Congress got just 206 seats in 2009 but formed a coalition government, तब डेमोक्रेसी खतरे में नहीं आई.
DMK was sharing power, Mr. Sarvanan, what would you say?
See, when we speak of undeclared emergency, when was in independent India, prior to elections, chief ministers were arrested. Why were they arrested? Because they were complicit in a crime. Why were they arrested just before the elections? Because they wanted to support the alliance which is against the ruling party. And how many dissenters were arrested by the BJP? And now here everybody is coming here and
No,
that
1 minute, Mr. Saravanan. I just want to,
BJP
sir,
is
very
the party
respectfully,
which
Mr.
respects
Saravanan,
freedom
very
of
respectfully, sir, with your permission, I want to ask you that Sanju Verma asked you a direct question. If you want to talk about 2014, 2019, she's saying you were part of the UPA 1 and 2. You know, DMK had ministers in the government. How many seats did the Congress have then?
See, this is not about how many numbers. We are talking about an undeclared emergency. Why do you want to jump the gun and talk something else, something irrelevant? That is not the situation here. We are speaking about a specific thing. I am bringing a point where the BJP, which has thrown every institution, even as an independent India, 4 judges of the Supreme Court, did they come out and give a press conference? Did that happen in the last 70 years? And demonetization. How did it happen? Did that happen in the last 70 years? See, the instances where the BJP has acted beyond its remit is endless.
Okay.
When did in independent India, hundreds of members are suspended and bills are pushed shoved
That
down
happened, sir.
everybody's
That
throat?
happened. It happened. It
When
happened.
in independent India,
I can give you the
they don't
data.
have a
People were
majority.
suspended
Bills were
even when the Congress was in power. I have the data, sir. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to read out the data. So it happened. Now, Dr. Ranganathan has a quick counter.
Yeah, no, very quick counter because, we keep going round in circles out here. Look, is there anybody's grouse? The fact of the matter is that every government, state or center is using the laws that are in our constitution that emanate from it. Hence the stomping on free speech, hence the draconian things. The problem is we have been a banana republic ever since we became a republic. Now, Mr. Saravanan might not know a YouTuber called Felix. He was arrested by the Tamil Nadu police because he conducted a controversial interview. They arrested the person he interviewed and they arrested him also. This is not undeclared emergency for him. There are thousands of instances. So every time you point out and single out only Narendra Modi, all I'm saying is every state chief minister, every person who has any semblance of power is exploiting these very draconian laws. So it is foolish for you to be selective and make the Indian voters gullible to say that only Modi is doing it. Everyone is doing it.
This is not a democratic mandate. Sanju Verma, Mr. Saravanan would not have it any other way. He says this is not a democratic mandate.
Pranesh, these people make a mockery of themselves when they come and question the democratic mandate. By that logic, if democracy khatam ho chuki hai, then 2021 mandate to Stalin, let Stalin step down. 2021 mandate to Mamata Banerjee, let her step down. 2023 mandate in Telangana to Revanth Reddy of the Congress, let him step down. 2018 there was a mandate to Ashok Gehlot, he should have stepped down. तो बात यह है कि जब बीजेपी सत्ता में आती है, these people start complaining डेमोक्रेसी खतरे में है. But when the voters vote for them, सब कुछ चंगा सी, all is kosher.
Mr. Saravanan wants to come in. He has his hand up. Yes, sir.
Yeah, see, they are picking up small instances and comparing. See, the thing is this, the people expect, at least now, the media will reform, that they will ask the questions of the ruling party. They will stop asking questions from the opposition parties. At least now, we expect that the media will change. Media will start listening to the voices of the people. Saying that after all this, even now, even today, that's what I said in the beginning of the debate, the BJP is not bothered about the real issues of this country. They only want to manage the headlines. They want to speak about issues which are not relevant to the common man. They want to run away from the issues. That is why we are saying the BJP government will find it very difficult. They had their own say in the last 10 years because they had the majority. They passed every law. Now, it is not possible. It will not be possible for them. This my way or the highway approach is not going to work for them. So we'll wait and see how the BJP government is going to function if they are not willing to listen to the voices of the people. If they are still going to continue their arrogant way.
No, 1 minute. Mr. Saravanan, the Prime Minister today in his remarks, he said, yeah, let's have consensus. Let's have meaningful debate and dialogue. Where is this arrogance coming from that you're referring to?
Yes. we are coming to the, when we speak of this arrogance, it is coming from all the BJP leaders
Okay.
who does not want to listen to the voice of the common man. That's what I asked a very pertinent question. What is the answer for NEET PG? Why did they cancel this? Will any of them, why it was not a debate today? This should have been the debate today in prime time. Instead, the Prime Minister did not want everyone to think
No,
of
Mr.
NEET
Saravanan,
PG.
we debated it
He wanted
yesterday. Where were
something
you?
to think
Was
about
it
what
not
happened
important
50
for you
years back.
yesterday?
That is why,
We did
no,
it
no,
day
listen-
before. You were
listen to
not
me.
there. Was it not important to,
Listen
has it
to me,
occurred to
listen
you
to me.
that
10 seconds
today
to me.
NEET is important? How many NEET debates have you done? How many have you done, sir? And on the panels in which you were not there, will those debates not be counted as a debate? What are you saying, Mr. Saravanan?
Prime time.
Prime time? Of course, prime time.
8 to 9.
8 to 9, 8 to 10, sir.
8 to 9. Why are you not speaking about NEET? It is a fiasco. It is.
Mr. Saravanan, times now, 1 minute, Mr. Saravanan, I don't think, Mr. Saravanan, come on, sir, don't do this, please.
50 lakh students are affected.
Of course,
You cannot.
we ran a campaign, we said the NTA chief can't remain in office.
Doing this.
We were the first to say that the NTA chief must go, and he was removed. Now when the government has taken action, you are saying that why there is action? You're shifting the goalpost. अनुराग भदौड़िया काफी टेंस्ड हैं. अनुराग जी, आपने भी वही बात की, सर्वानंद साहब भी वही बात कर रहे हैं. अब देखिए, पहले तो ये शुरू हुआ कि नंबर नहीं है, फिर मैंने आपको पूछा उत्तर प्रदेश में कुछ धांधली हुई तो आपने बोला नहीं, ठीक से नहीं हुई. फिर आपको रंगनाथन जी ने कहा कि आप प्रोटेस्ट में रिजाइन कर दीजिए, तो वो भी नहीं. तो ये संसद चलेगा कैसे? व्हाट डज द ऑपोजिशन वांट?
देखिए, संसद सुन लीजिए, संसद चलाने की जिम्मेदारी सरकार की होती है और सरकार अपनी जिम्मेदारी से नहीं भाग सकती. ये नहीं, सरकार को कुछ करना ही नहीं है. मैंने सत्ता पक्ष, ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी एक ऐसी पार्टी है जो सत्ता में रहती है, सत्ता का धर्म नहीं निभाती है, विपक्ष में रहती है, विपक्ष का धर्म नहीं निभाती है. आपने कहा था कैसे यहाँ पे लोकतंत्र किस तरह से अनडिक्लेयर इमरजेंसी है. 150 जैसे सांसद, 150 सांसदों को आप पार्लियामेंट से बाहर कर देते हो, बिल पास करते हो आप. क्या पार्लियामेंट के है ये?
सर, वो उनको बाहर किया था
संविधान
डिसिप्लिन. अनुराग जी,
क्यों? अरे बिकॉज क्या होता है? क्या बिकॉज होता है भाई? आप क्यों निकालेंगे किसी को? अपने
अगर आप पेपर बना के फेंकेंगे चेयर पे, नहीं तो चेयर नहीं, अगर आप पेपर बना के फेंकेंगे तो चेयर से क्या एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं?
आप सर बीजेपी में नहीं है, आप क्यों बचा रहे हैं? आप
नहीं, मैं आपको रूल्स बता रहा हूँ.
नहीं है,
मैं आपको रूल्स बता रहा हूँ,
मुझे बोलने दीजिए.
चलिए, डॉक्टर रंगनाथन भी नहीं है बीजेपी में, उनसे पूछ लेते हैं.
मैं आपसे कह रहा हूँ वो मणिपुर की घटना को, अरे फिर आप चिल्लाने लगे. आप, मैं कह रहा हूं मणिपुर की घटना के इश्यूज को उठा रहे थे और आपने पार्लियामेंट से बाहर कर दिया 150 सांसदों को, और आप कह रहे हो यहां अनडिक्लेयर इमरजेंसी नहीं है. यह अनडिक्लेयर इमरजेंसी नहीं है तो क्या है? आप किसी को डिस्कस नहीं करने देते. इस देश में जब से 2014 से क्या गलत कह रहा था कि आप बताइए, जितनी डिबेट आप इतना इस पे कर रहे हैं हल्ला मचा के, आप बताइए, मैं चैलेंज करता हूं, लगातार 10 दिन तक डिबेट होनी चाहिए पर्चा लीक पे. क्या 10 दिन तक डिबेट करेंगे आप?
10 दिन तक हुई है सर, 10 दिन तक हुई. आप जाके
मैंने कल की थी, मैंने परसों. अरे 2-3 डिबेट करने से काम चलेगा क्या? अभी विपक्ष की कोई बात होती तो आप पूरे दिन चलाएंगे.
और आप ये पैनल देख लीजिए. अनुराग भदौड़िया जी, क्या हो गया आपको? आप इतने भावुक हो गए. देखिए, अभी इस पैनल पे देखिए, एक बीजेपी की स्पोक्स पर्सन है, एक हमारे आनंद रंगनाथन है, पॉलिटिकल एनालिस्ट, और 3 लोग विपक्ष हैं. लेकिन आप इसको काउंट नहीं करेंगे, इसको काउंट नहीं करेंगे. विल हैव टू मूव ऑन.